welcome to my weekly update, talking about anything that's happened in the week and the cards and the odd pen or thing, whatever. Coffee. I made a video about my coffee, and then something had slipped. There was only half the video in the frame, so I had to start again. But I did show. I'll just quickly show my favourite coffee, which is this one, Juan Valdez Sierra Nevada. It's from Colombia, and it is amazing. I get it from an importer in New Zealand who imports South American stuff. It's a strong bean, and it has flavours of chocolate, caramel, and walnut, roasted walnut. Oh, it is so good. It took me 18 months to find this coffee. That's my special mug that they sent me a few years ago. And it's all hand painted and traded, because I like to buy fairly traded stuff, obviously. And well, this is the business. I've got another one. I like this one, Vulcan, which I got when they run out of the other one briefly, and it's kind of similar, and that is sweet caramel and cocoa, and that's another nice one. But the last order I did, I got a brand new one. Well, I don't know how new it is. I've never seen it before, and this is called Santander. And I was interested because it's described, it's not like the strong, I think it's a medium balanced bean. I don't like acidic coffee, so I always have low acid coffee. But this one has got the flavours of caramel, chocolate and brown sugar. It sounds amazing. And it's a bit of a lighter roast. So I'm really looking forward to trying that one. So that's those. Now, because it's the week of Samhain in my language, but not where I live, I mean, because being born in the north, it's always going to be that time of year for me. I can't find it I haven't been able to adapt to the southern hemisphere seasons even after 20 years. I mean, traditionally it's Beltane here, but because it's the kids are celebrating, and even they were upside down, and because of the Hallmark thing, people celebrate Halloween now. So All Hallows Eve, All Souls Day, which is so All Hallows Eve tonight, and then All Souls Day tomorrow. And in Mexico, it's the Day of the Dead, Amigos de los Muertos. So I think it's a great festival. So, you know, if it's in getting on with your ancestors, I'm going to celebrate it anyway. And the strangest thing happened to me last night. I turned my TV on. It's kind of like a screen more than, I don't actually have it connected to TV channels, but it's like an internet viewing screen thing. And my daughter used to have Netflix, and it must have been signed in, but I've never seen this before. I turned it on, and the first thing I saw was a screen, and it said, "Welcome back, and also it's good to have you back." And I took a photo of it, and my mother's name. My mother passed away in 2018. But because it was this time of year, it was just kind of, you know, it was just like a sign. I was thinking about my mum the other day, and I asked for a sign that everything's okay and that she's with us and watching us, and I saw that screen. Now I want to cry, but it was just amazing. Like a few days after I lost, the day after, 2 or 3 days after I lost my mum, and I found out I was in New Zealand. Obviously my mum was in the UK. It was sudden. And I was in the middle of doing a flood recovery project on my house, and I'd gone to the DIY place. I mean, I had to carry on, and I walked out of the place. I was in a daze, obviously. You know, nothing sinks in. Losing your mum is massive. And as I walked out, there was a shining white car. It was lit up in the sunlight, like it was like this beam of white light. A ball, and a number plate was Anne, A-N-N-E, how my mum spelt her name. That was it. And I was just like, oh my goodness. I think I took a picture of it. I'm sure I did. So I do ask for signs and symbols. It's what I live by. And I was, you know, that kind of warmed me. So I don't care if it's the wrong end of the year. I'm celebrating my ancestors now. Sorry, got to get off of this. So the decks I'm using this week, this is like the middle of the week, actually near the end of the week. I'm using Robert Place's Vampire Tarot, which is that big chunky thing in this big gigantic chunky box, which is really hard to open, so I'm not going to. But it's got a really good book. The book, Robert Place is a master of books. The Ian Daniels Vampire Tarot has a really good book too. In fact, I think I like the Ian Daniels book better, but I don't like the artwork, I've got to say. I'm sorry. And the cards are in my little, this is a Hobonichi free gift bag that I got a few years ago. I like it because it's like celebrate the day kind of thing. Hello to the new day. So these are the cards. I haven't drawn today's cards, so I might do that now. So this is, it actually is Samhain today in New Zealand. It is the 31st of October. Beltane, which is in the UK, but it's the 30th. Beltane is usually the 30th of April, around then, and that's when my firstborn was born. My Beltane baby, that is the Witch's Eve, the eve of when the witches fly. So these cards are quite hard to shuffle. They're quite big and they're sharp. I have been so tempted, and they're glossy, so they stick a bit. I've been so tempted to chop the corners off these over the years, but I never have. Because, I don't know, you know, Robert Place chose to have the corners on the cards being sharp, so I've kind of left them. And they do kind of balance the artwork, you know, like the sharp corners on the mask things. So I have left them. But let's count. I'll put that one out of the way. That was one I got yesterday, the Making Magic Oracle. Wishes Come True. I like that card. 1, 31. And we've got the Queen of Knives. Now, this is funny because I got her the other day. In this deck, Ellen Terry. No, I got her not yesterday, I think 2 days ago maybe. So he chose Ellen Terry, and Ellen Terry, I think, was an actress, and actually the guardian of Pamela Coleman Smith. So in this deck, the knives are swords, which is kind of pretty obvious. So I like the suits in this deck because, and it's signed, my book, The Blood is the Life, are in place. 13th of the 8th, 2012 was when I got that. And as I said, the book is really cool. I'm not going to do a big review of the book because that's not what this video is about. There's lots of reviews of this deck online, I'm sure, but again, if you want something, if you want me to do something, you need to ask, because I'm pretty intuitive, but I can't always read minds. Leave comments, ask, talk to me, I love it. Okay, that's fine. So you haven't got a lot of information about. Half the book is about the background, which is really, really good. You know, I'm not putting that down at all. It is excellent. But so the minor suits and the tools of the Slayer. In this chapter we discuss the symbolism of the tarot's minor suits in keeping with the precedents established by Waite and Smith, who changed the tarot's traditional suit symbols, cups, swords, coins and staffs to the 4 tools of the magician: cups, swords, pentacles and wands. In the Vampire Tarot, the suits have been equated to the 4 tools of the vampire hunter. The 4 suits of the Vampire Tarot are holy water, knives, garlic flowers and stakes, corresponding to the traditional tarot's cups, swords, coins and staffs. These 4 tools of the vampire hunter are integral to the story of Dracula and other vampire stories, and a close match to the traditional symbols. Knives and stakes are offensive weapons and relate to what are considered the masculine tarot suits of swords and staffs. As long as we sharpen the end of the staff, they are actually smaller versions of the same implements, or they could be pens. Holy water and garlic are defensive and relate to what are considered the feminine tarot suits of cups and coins. Holy water will of course be depicted in a vessel, which obviously relates to the cup. In early tarot decks, coins were depicted with a flower in the centre, similar to a garlic flower. These early coins are also similar to a mandala or a protective amulet, which is why Waite and Smith equated them to magic pentacles. In Dracula, the garlic flower is used to protect one from a vampire and is therefore an amulet like a pentacle. And lastly, the same elemental associations can be applied to these four symbols as to the traditional ones: water to holy water, air to knives, earth to garlic flowers, and fire to stakes. And then it talks about some of the history of the suits, and it's a bit of numerology there. And today we've got the queens, and it's got something here about the hierarchy of the cards and the suits. And so you've got cups, the slayer tool is holy water, the class is clergy, the element is water, the humour is phlegm, and the function is intuition. So the humours were like the phlegm, blood, bile, and yellow bile. And in the ancient medicine, the world of ancient medicine, they used to use leeches. If they believed if you were sick that it was because you had too much of one of these humours, and that's when they used to use leeches to let out the blood and etc. I had to study the history of medicine from the year dot, literally the year dot, when they were doing thinning and cutting out bits of the brain to let out evil spirits, right up until the modern day when I was at school. It was good. So then we've got swords, we've got knives, nobles, air, blood, thinking, coins, garlic flowers, merchants, earth, black bile, and sensation. And staffs, we've got stakes, peasants, fire, yellow bile, and feeling. And then there's a modern system of the temperaments, which you've got intuition, thinking, sensation, and feeling. We've got that diagram, and then the really good book, I say lots in it, but I want to read you what he says about the Queen of Knives. The card depicts the famous English actress Ellen Terry. Terry was one of the most beautiful, intelligent, and talented actresses of her time, and she was the principal actress at the Lyceum Theatre, playing leading lady to Henry Irving in most performances. Stoker was not only Irving's manager, but because Irving leased the Lyceum, he was effectively the theatre manager as well. Talking about Bram Stoker, obviously. This role allowed him to develop a close relationship with Terry and her young charge, Pamela Coleman Smith. Stoker seems to have based many aspects of his character, Mina, on Terry. This card represents someone who is beautiful, gracious, capable, and intelligent. He also talks about her in the Lover's card, which I got the other day. So that's the Queen of Knives. So we know the traditional Queen of Swords movement is what he said, capable, intelligent, clear-cut, clear thinking. So that's the card we've got for the day. So my ancestry card would be the Queen of Swords, talking about. Looks like she's got holly there. I wonder what she's holding. You didn't talk about the artwork on that card. It could be holly or rowan. No, it's not rowan. The leaves are too big. Red berries. I don't know. But that's the card. Quite like the knife. So then the other deck I used is this Making Magic Oracle, which I got given a few years ago as a gift, and it's by somebody called Priestess Moon. It's just symbols. What does it say? The cards are round, which I kind of like, and I like the glyph on the back. We'll move Ellen and the vampires over there. And then we've got these, so I'll put yesterday's card back in the deck. I kind of like round cards because they can't be like up or down. They're very flowy. I've got 2 round oracle decks from what are they called? The Wild Unknown People. So, enter the charmed world of magical symbols. Symbols have been used as talismans for thousands of years to attract good luck, prosperity, healing, love and success, as well as being employed as amulets to repel unwanted influences. Featuring a dynamic combination of medieval charms, ancient symbols, alchemical glyphs, and Priestess Moon's own channeled sigils, each card depicts a powerful cipher that has been designed to tilt the future in your favour. That's cool, eh? Tilt the future in your favour. I like that. Very good. So let's see what we get today. My favourite one, I love Abracadabra. There's an Abracadabra card in this deck. But I use this now and again, and I wanted to say, because I've been doing this decluttering thing, and doing the card a day, every day, which I haven't done for the whole of my life, I've done it a lot of my life, but for the last 2 years I have done it every single day because I've been going through the decks and using the decks. Next year I'm going to stop doing that. I'm not going to be doing the decluttering and using a different deck every week because I've had enough. I mean, I still have some decks I haven't used, and there will probably still be 1 or 2 left over. A couple I've accidentally doubled up on. There'll be 1 or 2 left over at the end of the year because I do have over 100 decks. But I have got rid of quite a lot. Not, well, you know, a few, probably 20 or more. There will be a few left, but I just don't want to keep moving on. I just don't want to do that anymore because 2 years of using a different deck every week, and you get to a deck you really want to explore more and use, and then you've got to move on. And, I mean, you don't have to, but I stuck to it. Because I wanted to use all my decks. And I'm really glad, as I said, that I did that experiment because I learned so much. Like in the 30 Days of Tarot, when we spoke about so many different cards, and I learned so much about decks that I rescued decks from the get rid of pile that I was going to get rid of without even looking at, and found out that they had a lot going for them. And one of those decks, definitely, I'm going to talk about. So I want to talk more about those decks like next year and do more like actual readings with like spreads and things rather than just like daily draws. But you don't really get, I mean, I've done a few of those, but you don't get the chance to really do much of that when you're going through so many decks. So, but if there are any decks, as I said, that you want to know more about, let me know. I have got quite a lot of decks. I've got a few rare decks. The rarest one, this is Diary of a Broken Soul, and I've got to dig that one out. So what did I get the Queen? So that's 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. In case you don't know, that's my method. When I'm doing a daily draw, I shuffle the cards and cut them out, and then I count to the day of the week, and then whatever tarot card I draw, I use that number to draw the oracle card. So it's my little system. And we have Trinket 5, manifesting money and income. Oh dear, I'm not a fan of money, really. I guess it goes with clear thinking of the Queen. 26, and it's got a moon phase on there. They all got moon phases. Yeah, they do. They all have moon phases too. So over here it's a waning, but I think that's a waxing moon from the other side. Obviously it would be a waxing moon because you're manifesting, you're not waning. But our moon is upside down. So let's have a look. Card number 26, and then it's got, the book's quite cool. It's got, you know, the different just things about them. But there's some good cards in it. So this is a Priestess Moon Sigil, which obviously because it's one of those things. I don't know what it is about. Why I don't like money. I don't like the thing about generating and all the manifesting. Like I like to see it in different terms. We all need it, I know, but I don't know. Weird. I'm weird about it. Trinket 5 is an old Lithuanian gypsy folk enchantment. According to legend, if you say the words 3 times and clap your hands each time, you'll quickly attract the sum of money you need. Well, that's good, what you need, not what you want. The pentagram is a magical symbol that represents the 5 elements of earth, fire, air, water and spirit. In modern-day witchcraft, the pentagram embodies the concept of as above, so below. The pentacle is a positive symbol that is associated with manifesting the beautiful abundance and material wealth needed to better our lives here on earth. Encased in the 5-pointed star is the number 5 repeated 3 times. In numerology, the number 5 means the start of positive change, the start of positive change in your life and the breaking through of old patterns and beliefs. Use Trinket 5 to start working on your mindset about money, abundance and prosperity. If you draw this symbol after shuffling the cards, take it as permission slip to treat yourself to something you wouldn't normally let yourself afford. Well, I quite like that. And notice how that makes you feel. The Trinket 5 symbol is designed to create positive beliefs around deserving money. Employ this symbol to attract small windfalls and specific sums of money into your life. Place it opposite your front door to begin the flow of wealth into your house. Work with it over 5 days by lighting a candle in front of it each day and picture the golden coins flowing into your life. Blah, blah, right down. So it gives you ideas of using the cards. I like that. I mean, it's a lot better when you read the book than it is just seeing the card. As I said, I like the idea of it being positive and a little treat rather than this big whole money, The Secret, all those kind of books that make me feel I have a bad taste in my mouth because I just don't like that stuff. I don't know. Because success, I know we all need money and it's okay that if you're not sitting on the street starving. I have been there. But I don't like the whole thing of equating wealth, material wealth, with success, because success has got many different meanings and it is difficult. And there's, so those are today's cards: the Queen of Knives, the Queen of Swords, and Trinket 5. So we've got capable and strong, but talking about like self-worth, which is, I bring this like deserving, telling yourself you deserve this treat. We say happiness or whatever, instead of money I'll use other things. It's something we do struggle with a lot. I struggle with self-worth a huge amount, and even though I think I've cracked it and I'm practicing self-care and believe it, it's actually not true. This week I've managed to pull my pectoral muscle by being stupid and not looking after myself. Now, and I keep doing these things because you get one injury, you compensate it by doing something else, you injure yourself somewhere else. But we've got to look, you have to look after yourself more and be more mindful, because if there's no one to look after you, especially if you're living on your own, I mean, I have people here, but they're not always here, my grandchildren and everything. But and you injure yourself and you live in the middle of nowhere pretty much, you're going to be stuck. You have to be responsible for yourself and look after yourself, and we are worthy of that. So yesterday I changed my cover on my little A6 Hobonichi. This is my mental health journal, and I put this little, it's got a pink cover underneath, which I really like, that pink and that, but this one is, I think it's called The Good Life or Beautiful Home or something. It's shiny, so you probably can't see. Oh, Beautiful Season. I really like and it's got candles, and I like these creatures. They remind me of like trolly, other kind of creatures, not human, not animal. I love them. But I really do like that cover, and this is a pen that I was going to show. As I said, that's my mental health journal. That'll stay the same next year. But my main journal, which is my cousin, well, I say main journal, I've got a lot. My Hobonichi cousin, I'm not going to do it, the astrology, I'm still going to do it, but I'm going to do it in a different way next year. But I'll probably might do a video about that, because I will be setting it up at some point. It might be on this channel, it might be on my new channel, but I will do it. And I've started a journal, and actually I've started I've dug out my traveller's notebook, my old vegan cover again, and started using that. I don't have it here at the moment, but I've started using that for all my video ideas for the channel. I've got a book for that. I've got a book for learning DaVinci Resolve, like an insert, a thing, book, traveller's notebook insert. So and all my tips and things and ideas I get for the channel and things I think of while I'm making videos, I've started writing them down in there, so I am doing things a bit better. Oh, I've got that. This is just a Hobonichi pen from last year. It was red and yellow last year, which at first I didn't like, but then it kind of grew on me, even though I still don't like the colours, because they remind me of that place that kills a lot of animals and puts them in between bread with a big M, a yellow M. I don't like this. That because of that, but when I started using the pen, I don't know, something struck me about it and I liked it. But this year's is going to be lovely. I haven't got open mine yet. It's lilac. I think it's sort of lilac and brown. I'm not 100% sure. So this pen here, this is a Benu Euphoria. It's a glow-in-the-dark pen. These green bits, when it's exposed to the sunlight all day, these green bits glow in the dark. And it's very glittery, not my usual style at all. But I wanted, years ago, I wanted a really wintry pen, and Bennu did not make hardly, nowhere near. They probably had about 20 pens. Now they've probably got hundreds. But they had a white one with like glittery bits, really looked like snow and winter. And I bought that and I really liked it. And then I've got a couple more. This one's called Ocean Breeze, I think. And the model is called the Bennu Euphoria. Might be Ocean Dream, anyway, one of those two. But yeah, the green bits glow in the dark. Bennu use Schmidt nibs, which are made in Germany. They're pretty good. And I used to really like massive nibs on pens. I don't know why, because I don't anymore. It was like, oh, I could never get a nib broad enough. I think because I have very big handwriting. But since I started using finer nibs, I learned to write smaller. And these Hobonichi pens are good for that too. But I used to use the big, thick nibs. But they make you write bigger, and yeah, it's not the best. I did write the other day when I made the video before, I wrote about this pen somewhere. There we go, Bennu Euphoria, Schmidt B nib, Ocean Breeze, and the ink is Robert Oster Muddy Crown. But you can see it's a really thick nib. It's pretty much out of ink at the moment, so I'm not going to try and write with it because there's no point. I know it's going to be a mess. The big nib uses a lot of ink. So I'm going to get some nibs. You can buy those nibs. I'm going to buy some replacement nibs for these. That's the beauty about a fountain pen. If you get a beautiful pen and you don't like the nib, you can change it. The nibs just come out easily. But Bennu make like so many versions of this model now. They had, like I said, 4 or 5. Now they've got hundreds. They're hand-painted ones, and that's the inside. But you can literally just undo the nib unit, and you can pull the whole nib and feed out and replace it. I've done it a lot, but it's a very big nib. So that's the pen I've been using with the lilac. But I'm going to fill up a new one because I was thinking about doing my Visconti, my black Visconti pen, which I got in England. I think the last time I was over there. Yeah, I did. I bought it in a beautiful pen shop in Bury St Edmunds. I call it my Bury St Edmunds pen. I love Bury St Edmunds. I used to live near there. My firstborn was born in Bury St Edmunds. It's a town in East Anglia. And they've got a pen shop called the Writing Desk. And I went there and I bought my Visconti. I can't think of the model. Anyway, it's a black pen. It's just quite a plain black pen. And I was going to fill it with red ink for Halloween to go with this deck. I haven't done it yet because it's been a bit of a full-on week. So that's that. And I think that's about it. I found a beautiful one. Some of my stones, they're just rocks, but they have beautiful patterns on. Guardian stones. That is a lovely one. It's kind of, I don't know if you can see, but it's got kind of like a koru, like a twirly bit on there. As I said, I'm getting a new camera, and that shouldn't be too long. I'm going to make a video about that and setting it up. I've got a new tripod, which I'm actually using at this moment, so I can't show you it. I tried to show a bit of the room earlier, but I don't know if the tripod was in it. This is driving me mad. There are like 6 big flies in this room, just flying around from outside because I had the window open, and they're driving me crazy. And they can't get out. They're like, they might even be wasps, I don't know. They look like wasps, actually. Oh, I can't bear them. So, sweet and short and sweet. Happy Samhain. Many blessings to you and your ancestors and your families. And ask for signs, if you wanna talk to someone, ask. I ask and look for signs all the time. I think that's why I chose this deck this week. I wouldn't say it's a complete favourite, but I think I like the idea of signs and symbols because I was asking for a symbol from my mum. And when I did that, when that all came over me a few days ago, I wasn't even thinking in terms of it being Samhain or Halloween. I seem to be so in tune with the season sometimes that these things come up without me registering it in my conscious mind. And when I turned on that television last night, that screen, I was not thinking about anything to do with that at all. I was not. I just turned it on and it shocked me, because even though I've occasionally used my daughter's Netflix before, we don't even have it at the moment, and I logged out of it ages ago. So for that to come up was just crazy. That was a sign. Thank you. Bye. I just thought I'd quickly show you my new tripod. So there it is, standing up. And it's got this arm. It's made by a company called Newer. The bag down there, Neewer. Can't remember the model, but it goes quite high. But this arm here, actually, you can. I'm not going to do it now because it will fall over. These are weights I've got on it to hold it back, because I've got this boom arm, or this horizontal arm. So this bit here, this mechanism here, the arm actually comes out of the center post in there, and you can flip it over like this. And that is the whole reason I got this tripod, for top-down videos, and I love it. It's absolutely amazing. So I was using like an old standoff, this old photography light I had, but it's very, very wobbly. And then I borrowed my daughter's like monopod thing, which again is very, very wobbly. So this is the tripod, and I love it. I really, really like it. It feels so solid and heavy, and all my other tripods have had those flippy legs, but I really like these like screw ones better than the flippy ones. So there we are. There's my lovely tripod.